Hello, friends. Susan here, just getting my stuff ready. I've got my blanket, I've got my block. I don't always use one, but I'm gonna start showing you how you can maybe do a few little modifications for yourself. So if you have any of these things handy in your place, grab them. If you want to put some extra clothing close by so that you've got it to put on when you finish practicing, you should really be doing your practice in your bare feet. So get yourself all set up and just find a comfortable seat. So I like to sit on a blanket, but you can also kind of sit right on the edge of your block if you need to come up a little higher. What we're striving to do is allow our knees to drop down so that our hips can be relaxed. So if you find when you sit, your knees are way up here, your back wants to start to round, lifting yourself up a little higher will allow the knees to drop down, perhaps to hip level, perhaps a little bit lower, and you'll find that it's easier to create a straighter spine for yourself. So make adjustments and really try to listen to what your body is telling you at all times, because you really are your best teacher. So I can make suggestions here, but you know what you're feeling within your own body, and it's very important that you're practicing safely without pain. We want to avoid pain at all costs in our practice. Pain is where injury can happen, and we want to avoid injury. A nice deep stretch, it's intense. It feels intense, but when it pushes into that realm of pain, that's where you want to back off a little bit. So that's my 2 cents for the day. So just find that place, let your arms relax, let your shoulders melt down away from your ears, and let your eyes just softly close. Relax your jaw. Take notice of the temperature of the air around you. Do you need extra clothing? Do you need to turn the heat up a little bit or down? Take notice of how you're breathing right now before you've actually altered it in any way. Are you breathing in a shallow manner, or is the breath very deep? Is the breath moving in through the nose, the mouth, or a combination of the two? How's your body feeling today? Have you been sitting a lot with bad posture? Are you feeling a little soreness in your low back, your shoulders, your neck? We're all guilty of this. Maybe a little too much screen time, a little too much time sitting, even if you're still working. Depending on what your habits are when you work, there may still be areas that you could improve your posture. So just notice. And then check in with your emotional state. How are you feeling today? You're going through a very difficult time. And it's okay to be sad, to be angry, to be frustrated, to be scared. But right now, for this time that you've given yourself to be on your mat, see if you can let that stuff go. And picture those emotions being stored maybe in a backpack that you're carrying on your back, and visualize yourself right now sliding those straps off your shoulders, down your arms, and just push it off to the side. So I'm not asking you to completely forget about those things forever, but just for now, pay them less attention. Pay more attention to your breath and begin to deepen that breath and lengthen that breath. And with your lips closed, start to breathe only through your nose. Try to sit a little taller, extending upwards through the crown of the head, trying to bring the ears back so they're over the shoulders, drawing the chin just slightly back towards your throat, not down towards your chest, but just pulling it back. And then draw the shoulders back so they're directly over top of the hips. And there should be that gentle, natural curve at the small of your back. And just keep breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And with every exhale, feel any tension you've been holding within your body just start to melt away a little bit at a time. Make sure you're not clenching your teeth. Try to relax your jaw. Take a moment here to think about what brought you onto your mat today. So what were you looking for in this practice today? What does your body need? What does your mind need? What does your mental state need? Your emotional state? Bring your hands to your heart and just take a moment to set an intention for yourself. Almost like an affirmation. Try to phrase it in a positive way. And it can be something even as simple as, may I find a bit of peace and quiet here on my mat. May I strengthen my body in whatever way that it needs. So what brought you here? Every reason is valid. All of us come to yoga for different reasons, and one is not better than the other. Good. Release your hands from your heart down to the ground, just beside you, beside your hips. And with your fingers pointing out, begin to walk those hands out and away from you until you're just on sort of the tips or the pads of the fingers. They're resting very lightly on the ground. Feel that broadness across the chest. Feel that length at the back of the neck, and slowly rotate your palms outward. Wait for your next inhale and let your arms slowly float up. Turn your palms out, and as you exhale, let the arms circle all the way back down. And once again, we inhale and float them up. Turn the palms out, exhale, circle them down. One more time. We rotate the palms out, wait for the inhale, the arms lift up. Turn the palms out again, and as you exhale, slowly circle them down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, melt your right ear toward your right shoulder, stretching out the left side of your neck. Maybe you can walk those left fingers out just a little further. Maybe you want to deepen the stretch, turning the right palm out, circle the right arm up, bend at the elbow, and take your hand, place it just above the ear or cup it over the ear. But you're not pulling, you're just adding a bit of weight here. The heart area is still lifted up and away from the navel area, and your navel area lifts up and away from the pubic bone. Take another full breath in, and with your exhale, leaving the head there, just circle the right arm back down. When the fingerprints touch, we inhale, lift the head up, and then melt the left ear over toward the left shoulder. So you're really trying to keep your face pointing straight ahead. Don't let your head fall forward or drop back. Walk those right fingers a little bit further. And if you deepen the stretch on the other side, turn the left palm out, circle the arm up, bend at the elbow, placing the hand on the head above the right ear or cupping it just over the ear. Try to maintain space between your left earlobe and your left shoulder, so you're not bringing the arm up so much that the shoulder comes right up under the ear. Keep it relaxed and down. Maintain that breath in and out through your nose. Take another full breath in, leave the head there, exhale, circle that left arm down, and now inhale, lift the head up, and pause. Inhale now, start to lift the chin, like you're turning your face up towards the sun. You may need to separate your teeth more and even your lips to maintain a relaxed jaw. Still breathe through your nose, though. Opening up the throat, the front of the neck. Noticing any tension, tightness. Try to release it with every exhale. And now inhale, lift the head up slowly, and as you exhale, let your chin just fall forward toward the chest. And if you'd like to deepen the stretch, here's where you can. Turn the palms out, circle the arms up, clasp the hands, and then rest the hands ever so gently on the back of the head. Start to let those elbows fall in towards one another as the arms completely relax. And you allow the weight of them to completely deepen the stretch here. So try to maintain the rest of the spine as straight as possible and just let the head fall forward. So now, not only opening up the back of the neck, but feel that stretch down into the upper back, along the length of your spine through those erector muscles. Take another full inhale. And exhale, relax the hands down. And let's inhale, lift the head up. Lengthening upwards through the crown of the head. Notice that you might feel a little lighter in the upper part of the body. Just go ahead and send your legs straight out in front of you. So take a look at your toes, adjust your seat as you need to, and you're just going to curl your toes around towards the soles of the feet. So that's our inhale. As we exhale, pull the toes back and spread them out. Inhale, curl them forward, squeeze. Exhale, spread them out as you pull them back. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, pull them back, spread them out, relax. Lean back a little bit into your hands here, and now point your feet. Inhale. Exhale, flex, push out through the heels. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, push out through the heels, toes pull back. Last one, inhale and exhale. Good. Separate the feet a little bit. Start to roll your toes towards each other as you inhale. Bring those toes all the way around. Exhale, pull them back and in and all the way into center. So inhale for that half circle, all the way out to the sides as you exhale. Pull the toes towards you, draw the big toes together, inhale again. Rotating out and around as you exhale, come all the way back through. Let's do 2 more. Last one, inhale. Exhale, pulling, pulling, pulling. Now we're gonna go the other way. So inhale, draw them back and out. Exhale, forward and center. Inhale, draw them back, turn them out. Exhale, forward and center, and again. Last 2. Last one. Inhaling forward, center, exhale, all the way out and around. Good. Give those legs a little shake. Beautiful. Let's come on to the hands and the knees into our table position. So in this pose, you want your shoulders over your wrists. And then the space between your thumbs, make sure that it's big enough that both your feet could fit there. And your arms are like pillars right underneath those shoulders supporting you. Look back at your thighs. Make sure your thighs look like they're parallel. So are your shins. Heavily press down through the tops of the feet. Lifting through the low belly. So you'll notice that I'm not collapsing my belly towards the ground, nor am I pushing my back up towards the ceiling. Try to find that neutral position. A little bit of work through the core. And now inhale, Let the belly drop as the tailbone comes up and the chin lifts. Exhale, tuck the tail, tuck the chin, rounding and arching the back. And inhale, come back into that cow pose, making that U shape with your spine. And exhale into your cat stretch. Let's do 3 more. Inhaling into cow. Maybe go a little further. Exhaling up into cat. Last 2. Full inhale. Chin and tailbone lift. Full exhale. Tuck the tail. Tuck the chin. It's our last one. Go to your furthest place in the pose as you inhale into cow and as you exhale into cat. Neutral table pose. Slide your hands forward a couple inches. Tuck your toes under. Look towards your navel. Lift your knees, lift your hips, come high on the toes. Push your chest back as much as possible and then press both heels down to the ground. Keep pushing the armpits back towards the ankles and just let your hips sort of move from side to side without moving the feet. Swaying the hips to the right side of the mat and then the left side. One more time, side to side. And then let your hips make their way back to center. Bend your left knee and see if you can press your right heel closer to the ground. So don't bend the left knee so much that your hip drops down. Try to keep those hips level if you can. Bend the right knee. Press that left heel down now. Press both heels down at the same time and start to walk your hands towards your feet. You might need to bend the knees, come up to your fingerprints, keep walking those hands all the way back until you can let the weight settle completely into the feet and legs. Grab a hold of your elbows with the opposite hand and just dangle here in a rag doll. Knees are bent. Head just hangs heavy. Shake the head no. Nod the head yes. Center, shake the head no again. Nod it yes. And relax. Try to let your toes be taking just as much weight as your heels. Try to pull your elbows towards the ground now and see if you can lift your hips up and away from those heels. Stretching out the entire back side of the body. Breathe. In through the nose, out through the nose. Take another full inhale, and as you exhale, release the hands down. Circle the arms up, around, and behind the back without lifting the torso away from the thighs. Now go ahead and clasp your hands. Try to bring the heels of the hands towards one another. Squeeze your shoulder blades together as you work at straightening the arms as much as possible. And without lifting the shoulders up to the ears, pull the arms gently away from the back if that's within your ability. Let your head still hang heavy. Try not to let all the weight drop back into the heels. So keep half the weight in those toes. Melting that chest closer and closer to those thighs. Feeling the hamstrings slowly open up and take one more inhale. Stretch the arms a bit further. Exhale, let the arms just float down to the ground. And if they touch, be sure to turn the palms up, resisting the urges you may have to reach with those hands or pull with those hands. Now we're going to turn those fingers forward. If they've turned back, bring them to a shoulder distance width and start to walk the hands forward. If you need to bend the knees to get the fingerprints on the ground, do so. Keep looking back between those legs. Slowly walking one hand at a time forward. Keep walking them until you feel as though you're back in your downward facing dog. And just to be sure your hands are in the right position, look forward to them. Make them level, wrist creases parallel with the top edge of the mat, and then relax your head down as you push your chest back. Draw the shoulders up and back away from the ears as you push your armpits towards your ankles. Taking one last full inhale, and as you exhale, set your knees down on the ground. Untuck your toes, coming back into table. Inhale, lift the chin and the tailbone up. Exhale, draw the tail down, push your hips towards your heels. Don't move your hands. Take the puppy stretch. Hands stay rooted in place. How close to your heels can those hips sink? Now look forward and inhale. Pull yourself back up to table. Lift the chin, lift the tail. Draw the tail down as you tuck the chin. Push the hips to the heels. Don't move the hands back. And we're going to one more time wait for the next in-breath. Come up, lifting the chin, lifting the tail, open the throat. Exhale, tuck the tail, tuck the chin, arch the back, tuck your toes, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Good, let's inhale, rise to the toes. Tiny bend to the knees as you look forward, and we begin to tiptoe those feet all the way up until they're in between those hands. Look forward, hands on the shins. Exhale, fold, chin tucks in, hands on the shins. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold all the way down. One more time. Hands on the shins, straighten the spine, look out in front of you. Now take a grip on the legs, whatever you can reach, pulling yourself into an active forward bend. Uttanasana, breathe. Send the crown of the head towards the tops of the feet. Lift the hips up towards the ceiling above you. Good. Let's release the hands to the floor. Take a big step back with that left foot. Land on the ball of the foot, and now walk your right foot closer to your right hand. Sink down into that low runner's lunge. So pulling right hip back, drawing left hip forward, send the heart forward, the chin forward, look forward, and breathe deeply. In through the nose, out through the nose. Low belly draws in, let your hips drop just a little closer to the floor. Maybe you can even wiggle that left foot even further back behind you. Take another full breath in. As you exhale, bring your right hand to the inside edge of your foot. Begin to walk your hands around to the left. Turn your right toes in. Pigeon toe your feet so they're parallel to the short edges of your mat and even slightly turned in more than that. Now widen your hands to shoulder distance. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, start to fold. Plant your hands shoulder distance. If you can't get the palms flat, widen the feet a little more. If you still can't get the palms flat, find equal levels of books or blocks, place them under the hands or stay on the pads of the fingers. But we're going to try to walk those hands back as far as we can, maintaining that shoulder distance width. Hug your elbows into shoulder distance and use the strength of the arms now like you could pull yourself right through those thighs. And breathe here, in and out through your nose. Good. As you inhale, look out in front of you. As you exhale, walk your hands over towards your right foot. Bend your left knee. Maybe your right hand can go to the outside edge of the foot. Maybe you can hold the ankle or the calf with both hands. Keep that bend in the left knee. Pull your chest towards your right thigh. Try to keep some weight in your toes. Don't let your hips fall too far back behind you. Now, if you're holding your leg at all, release your hands back to the ground. Inhale, walk back to center, straightening both legs. Look out in front of you. And now walk your hands over towards your left foot. Bend your right knee. Let your head hang and just be heavy. Maybe your hands stay on the floor. Maybe you can hold the ankle, maybe the calf. Keep bending that right knee as you pull your chest towards that left thigh. Breathing, keeping weight in your toes. If you're holding your leg, release it as you inhale. Straightening that right leg, walk your hands back to center, look out in front of you, and now come back around to the front of your mat. Right toes turn out, come onto the ball of the left foot, step your left foot forward, taking Uttanasana once again, that forward fold, breathe. Hands can be on the floor or holding the legs, your choice. And if your hands are on your legs, release them to the floor. If you need to, bend the knee, do so. Take a big step back with the right foot. Landing on the ball of the foot, walk your left foot closer to your left hand. Take that low runner's lunge. Lift the chin away from the chest, looking forward. Pull your left hip back, your right hip forward. Breathing deeply here, in through the nose and out through the nose. Moving the heart forward away from the navel, moving the navel forward away from the pubic bone here. Lift through the low belly. Good, take another deep breath in. As you exhale, look down, push off that right foot and bring your right foot up to join your left. Fold over those legs, active or passive, you choose. So whether you're holding the legs or pulling yourself down with the hands on the floor, the arms are just hanging and you're letting gravity do the work for you. So releasing your fingers down to the ground, heel toe your feet together until your big toes touch and you still have a little space between your heels. So you want your feet to look like they're parallel to one another, like the number 11. Start to bend your knees without lifting your heels. Squeeze your knees and your thighs together. Pull the low belly in as you bring the chin away from the chest. Look out in front of you. Turn your palms to face each other. Keep the knees bent just as they are. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the torso, lift the chin, tuck the tail. Look at the space between your palms. Squeeze those legs tightly together here in Uttanasana. This is our chair pose. Can you look forward or maybe slightly downward? Find a drishti so you can balance. Lift your heels off the ground. Come up onto the toes as high as you can. Continue to breathe deeply. Take another inhale and then lower your heels down. Inhale, straighten the legs. Reach up, tip back, and then reach forward. Fold all the way down. Breathe. Keep some weight in your toes. Now let's plant the hands flat on the ground. If you need to bend the knees, do so. Step the feet back, keeping shoulders over wrists, so you're in a plank pose. And if you need a modification, because this is too much, simply lower the knees down. Keeping the tailbone tucked, keep the belly firm, grip with those fingers, don't let them go to sleep. Now bring the chin forward, looking about 3 feet in front of you. Take a deep breath in. Start to lower your shoulders and your hips at the same time. And now send the chin forward as you untuck the toes. Lift through the back of the head. Breathe here. Heavy through the tops of those feet. Draw the shoulders down, away from the ears. Take another inhale, come up just a bit higher. And then lower your chest, your forehead, tuck your toes. Inhale, press back up to the plank, shoulders and hips rise. In tandem, press back to your downward dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Push the heels down, push the chest back. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the nose. Good. Let's inhale and come forward to the top of a push-up again. If you need to do this from the knees, do it from the knees. Lower all the way down onto your belly. And as you come down onto your belly, extend your right arm straight out to the right and look down that right arm. Make sure your hand's not way higher than your shoulder or way lower. And then turn your head to the left. Push into your left palm. Begin to roll onto the right side of the body, and you're going to feel a stretch in that right shoulder. So how far can you pull that left shoulder back? Maybe this is enough, just keeping the legs stacked, left hand stays on the ground in front of you, supporting you. Maybe you want to take it a little further. Your top leg, which is your left leg, you can plant the foot flat on the floor so your knee kind of points up to the ceiling now, letting that left hip fall back even more. Maybe you want to lift the left arm straight up. Maybe even want to let it fall back behind you. So you're in complete control right now in how deep you take this stretch. Don't push to the point of pain. Remember, comfortable discomfort is what we're striving for. Don't cause injury to your body. If you've lifted the left arm, inhale, reach it up, up, up. Plant the hand just in front of you for support. Stack your left leg back on top of your right and roll over onto your belly. Good. Let's take the arms alongside us. Palms up. Turn your head to the right. Let your big toes touch. Let your heels fall apart and just breathe. So we want to stretch that left shoulder now as well. Take your left arm out to the left. Look at your arm. Make sure that your hand and your shoulder line up. And you're going to roll now onto that left side. Trying to stack the right leg on top of the left leg. Right hand can be on the ground supporting you, so you don't go back too far. If you want to take it further, right foot can plant on the ground behind you with the right knee pointing towards the ceiling, like a little kickstand. Right arm can even float up towards the ceiling. It can even start to fall back behind you. Notice what your left shoulder is saying to you right now. Don't go past your edge. Make sure you can still breathe. The facial muscles are relaxed. The jaw stays relaxed. Good. Take another inhale. If that right arm is up, lower it down. Start to stack the right leg on top of the left leg. Roll back over onto your belly. Bring your arms down at your sides. Turn your palms up. And this time, turn your head to the left. Let your big toes touch and your heels fall apart. And just breathe. Good. Pointing your toes behind you, forehead to the ground, hands to either side of the chest. Making sure that your fingers are behind the tops of the shoulders. Now nice and slow, press up to the hands and the knees. Separate the knees, bring your big toes together. Sit your hips all the way back towards the heels, and then lower your chest and your head. Relax the arms either out in front of you or alongside you. If your head is sort of just hanging there in space, be sure to support it with your hands. Make a little pillow for it to rest on. And just breathe here in Balasana. This is our child's pose. Good. Hands to either side of the head. Push into the palms, straighten the arms. Bring your thighs together. And just sit back into Vajrasana. If you can't sit in Vajrasana, just come up to stand on the knees instead of sitting all the way back, because we're going to come back up into downward dog, stretching out the body. So let's bring the hands back to the top of our mat. and come back up to downward dog. Pushing the heels down as you push the chest back. Exploring those shoulder joints a little bit. How are they feeling? What are you feeling in the chest, in the upper back? Good. Let's step the right foot up to the top of the mat. Lower to the left knee and untuck the left toes. Any issues with your knees? Make sure you have a folded up blanket or a folded up towel. You can always cushion the knee if you need to. That's very important. Sliding that left leg back to its furthest place. Make sure that your right foot and your left knee have at least 2 of your fist distance between them. And then look out in front of you as you drop the hips down. Lifting upwards through the crown of your head. Shoulders are relaxed and down, away from the ears. Right hand to the right knee as you inhale, left arm sweeps forward and up. Try not to unbend this right leg. Keep the knee over the ankle, dropping the hips down as you lift the chin and look up. Take another inhale, reach the left arm even further back as you exhale. Left fingers come back to the ground. Curl your left toes under. Pick up the left knee. Bring your left hand just a bit closer to the right foot as you take your right arm out like the wing of a bird. Turn your head, look at your thumb, and inhale, start to lift that right arm up. Try not to drop the left hip down just to get that right arm to come higher. You can look out to the right, you can look up to the thumb. Take another inhale, reach, reach, reach. As you exhale, right arm comes down. Make space by moving the left hand out of the way. Push off the left foot and bring your left foot up. Fold over those legs. Relax the arms. The head just hangs. Good. Let's release the hands to the ground. Take a big step back now with the right foot, left foot out to the left. Lower the right knee, pat it if you need to, untuck the toes. Look out in front of you, dropping the hips down towards the ground. Breathing deeply here, breathing slowly. Left hand to the left knee with the inhale, right arm sweeps forward and all the way up. Look up. Shoulders down. Take another inhale, reach up, reach the arm back, and now exhale, right hand back to the ground. Curl the right toes under, straighten the right leg. Bring your right hand in, maybe an inch or so closer to the left foot. Take your left arm out like a wing. Look at your thumb. Wait for the next inhale and start to lift the arm. Follow the thumb with the eyes. If it hurts the neck, look out to the left or even down to the ground. Find your edge. Try to stay up on the pads of your fingers, gripping with them. Good. One more inhale, reach up, stretch it back. Exhale, the left arm comes down. Move the right hand out of the way, big step forward, fold over those legs. Let the head hang and be heavy. Let your toes take just as much weight as your heels. Good. Take your fingerprints to the floor. Crawl them away from the feet. If you can't reach the floor, put something on the floor that you can rest the hands on, finding your edge here. So it can be a block, it can be any type of lift. You just want to make sure it's stable. Walk the feet together, big toes touch, a little bit of space between the heels. Now send the crown of the head forward as you push into your right foot and inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Try to keep that left leg straight. If the right knee needs to bend, bend it, but keep that lifted left leg as straight as possible. Keep extending forward through the crown as you pull your shoulders back and down, away from the ears. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, start to walk your hands back. How far back can you walk them? Can you melt your chest towards your thigh? Tucking the chin in, forehead draws in. Look at your left toes and make sure that they're pointing straight down to the ground. How high can you lift that left leg? Beautiful. As you inhale, lift through the back of the head, hands walk forward. Exhale, left foot back down next to the right. Inhale, right leg floats up. As you send the crown forward, push back through that right heel. Pull the shoulders down, away from those ears. Try to spread those right toes and take one more inhale. Exhale, start to walk the hands back. Melting the chest towards the thigh, tucking the chin in, nose then forehead, right toes point down. How high can you lift the right leg now? Good. As you inhale, lift through the back of the head, hands walk forward. Exhale, right foot next to left, big toes touch. Come onto your tiptoes and try to sit as close to your heels as you can. Walk your hands back. So if you aren't really great with balance today, you can use your block on its highest point just in front of you to rest the hands on. You can have a block on either side of you, so you can bring your shoulders back even further if you don't need blocks. Hands can be on the thighs. Palms can come together at the heart. See something in front of you. Use your drishti, your gazing point. This helps with the balance. It helps with the focus. Focus the eyes, encouraging the mind to stay focused. Slow the breathing down. Take another inhale. Can you lower just like this, or do you need to reach back with one hand so you can lower your buttocks and extend your legs, pulling the flesh out from underneath those sitting bones. Pull all 10 toes towards you. So determining right now if the back is straight or if you need a little lift of a blanket or a block, especially if it feels as though everything is rounding, making sure that you're able to sit up straight. So I'll demonstrate on a blanket just so you get the general idea. You're not sitting way back on it, you're just on the edge of it. It helps to tip the pelvis forward a little more. Lift through the crown, inhale. Lift both the arms, palms face each other, pull the shoulders down. Another inhale, we look up, reach up, and then reach across the room as you lean towards your toes. Relax the arms down. Bend the elbows, palms face the ceiling. Take a moment here, observing the legs as you push out through the heels, engage your quads, toes pull back. Pull your low belly in, lean your heart a little further forward, and then turn your palms to face each other and take a gentle grip either on the sides of the legs, ankles, or feet. Now maybe you can pull yourself just a bit closer to the toes as you relax your head now. Close your eyes. That intense west stretch, Uttanasana. So that means that intense west stretch. So we typically do yoga facing east. Front side of the body then becomes that east side, back side of the body, the west side. So we feel this stretch right from the feet, backs of the ankles, calves, backs of the knees, through those hamstrings, glutes, low back, mid back, upper back. Can you reach so far forward through the crown that you can feel that stretch at the back of the neck? Now inhale, lift the chin, and as you exhale, release the grip, reach across the room, and inhale, come all the way up, turn your palms out, and circle the arms all the way down. Come off of any lift you may have been on. Just take that over to this side. Carefully lower down to your back. Planting your heels in front of your buttocks. Head is resting heavy on the floor. Tuck the tailbone to flatten your low back to the ground. And you want about 2 of your own fist distance, just in between your 2 heels. Now, without turning your head, inhale, start to lift the hips up. How high can you lift them without widening the knees more? So pull the low belly in a little bit. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Squeeze the knees just slightly towards one another so they stay right over top of the ankles. Maybe you can walk your hands closer together. Some of you might be able to clasp the hands, sliding one arm at a time even further under the body to come up even higher. Make sure you're still able to breathe. There's no pain. Good. Inhale, high on the toes. Send the arms to a T and melt your upper back down, then your mid back, then your low back, and your heels. Relax for a moment. And then drawing your knees loosely towards you, bring your hands to your knees and rock from side to side a few times. Massage your back. Breathing in and out through your nose, roll back to center. Take your feet to the ground. Now let's go ahead and extend the right leg out straight. Take your left arm out to a T, palm down. Pick up your left foot and just place the sole of your foot onto the top of your right leg, maybe up on the thigh, maybe down on the knee, but reach your right hand now across to the outside of that left leg. Slowly turn your head to the left here. When you can't turn it anymore, take a deep breath in and begin to rotate your hips to the right, allowing your left knee to come over to the right without lifting your left shoulder off the ground. And just breathe here through your nose. Try to keep that right leg straight. Try to let both shoulders remain heavy on the ground. And don't get too pushy with that right hand. Don't force or strain. Just let that hand be a bit of extra weight, helping you to deepen the stretch. The eyes can be closed here as you breathe through your nose and your nose only. Wringing out the entire length of your spine. Twisting out toxins, tension, stress. With every exhale, let it go. And then on your next in-breath, let your head and your knee come through center. Release a hold of the knee as you set your left foot back on the ground with the knee bent. Slide your right foot back to meet the left. Take your right arm out like a wing as you extend your left leg straight. Pick up your right foot and place it on top of your left leg, either on the thigh or maybe closer to the knee, and reach your left hand across for the outside edge of that right leg. Now slowly turn your head all the way to the right. When it can't go any further, take a deep breath in and melt those hips towards the left, letting your right knee come over to the left. Pausing before your right shoulder pulls away from the ground. Keep that left leg straight. Try to keep your eyes closed. Relaxing into this twist. Again, don't push, don't force. Just breathe deeply in and out through your nose. And on your next First inhale, let your head and your knee come back to center. Set your right foot back down on the ground. Bend your left knee. Place your left foot next to your right. Draw your knees to your chest. Reach for them with your hands and just rock side to side. And as you roll back to center, go ahead and put any extra clothing on that you would like to put on. Socks, long sleeve shirt. If you're going to use a blanket for Shavasana, have it close to you, but don't cover up just yet. And when you're ready, lie on your back, heels at the corners of your mat, arms down on the same diagonal line as the legs, palms facing up. Tuck the chin, point your right toes, flex your right foot, and now lift the right leg, but just an inch off the ground. Start to squeeze that foot and ankle, calf and knee, thigh, hip, buttock, squeeze, 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 and relax the right leg and just let it drop. So we only lift the legs or the limbs up a little bit so we can completely relax them down. Point your left toes. Flex your left foot. Lift the leg an inch and start to engage the muscle of the foot, ankle, calf. Squeeze that knee and that thigh, that hip and buttock. Squeeze, 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 and release. Push into the heels and lift the hips. Buttocks float away from the floor. Start to squeeze those buttocks. Tight, 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 and relax. Drop them down. Push into your elbows, shoulders, and back of the head, and push your heart up, 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 and drop the back down. We're going to bring our thumbs right into the center of each palm. Wrap the forefingers around those thumbs, straightening the arms, lift the arms an inch off the ground, squeeze those hands, wrists, forearms, elbows, upper arms, shoulders, shoulders to ears, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now press the shoulders away from the ears and extend your fingers, reaching, 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 and drop the arms. Turn your head slowly to the right, and then slowly to the left. Bring your chin to center, lift the head an inch. Keep the chin tucked as you set the head back down. If you want to grab your blanket, place it over your body, go ahead and do so now. Bring the arms back down on the same diagonal line as the legs. Palms are facing up. Close your eyes. Separate your back teeth. Relax your jaw. Let the tip of the tongue rest on the roof of the mouth, just behind those top front teeth. And let the rest of the tongue fall heavily towards the back of your throat. And as you relax your throat and soften your breath, try to take in just enough breath to keep you alive. Tiny little sips of air, trying to give our heart and our lungs a little less work now. Allowing the entire body to take rest. So feel heavy through all points of contact with the ground. And let your body just sink towards the earth, pulled by gravity. No resistance from you. Surrender to gravity completely. And when the mind begins to jump around, very gently and very lovingly, direct yourself back to just being a silent observer of your body. Try to be a silent observer of your thoughts. Try to be a silent observer of everything. Sounds around you and distractions from within. Take rest here. Relax and let go. Start to take a deeper breath back in through the nose, filling up right to the top. Open the mouth and let it go. As you continue to breathe deeply, just start to bring movement to your fingers and toes. As the movement grows bigger into hands and feet, wrists and ankles, you can start to turn your head from side to side. Waking your body up, your chin rolls to center, slide your legs together and point your toes. Reach the arms all the way over your head and take a deep breath in. Make the body as long as it possibly can be. And then circle the arms down as you exhale. Inhale, knees to chest. Hug them in with your hands and just rock from side to side. Rolling over onto your right side. Pushing into your left hand, and with your eyes closed, push yourself up and away from the floor. Come around and take a comfortable, cross-legged, seated position. Hands can rest on the knees, on the thighs, or in the lap. Observing the body. How are you feeling right now in comparison to how you felt right at the beginning of your practice in the exact same pose? All the extra oxygen that you've taken in with the long, deep breathing, perhaps you feel lighter. Sometimes we can even feel slightly lightheaded from all that extra oxygen. Bring your palms together and your hands come into your heart center. And put a bit of pressure between your hands and your heart and your heart and your hands. And take a moment, thank yourself for showing up today on your mat, doing something good for your body, and not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And whether we're here practicing together in person or we practice from separate spaces from around the globe, we still create a sense of community. And I thank you for allowing me to share these teachings of yoga with you. It is my honor and my privilege. The divine light within me graciously acknowledges that same divine light within you. Bowing, folding, forehead towards the floor, hands can come down as a means of support. Sealing in this practice and letting it go until the next time you come onto your mat and you start the process all over again, like you were a beginner practicing for the very first time. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you have any questions, let me know. We'll see you next time.